Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is the Just Our Imagination Challenge. This challenge is just so much fun. But before we get to the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda and this is my sleepy Oliver. And if you're returning, you guys are wonderful. So with all of that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, DIY number one. So I'm going to take one of these 12 by 12 wood pieces. I think this one came from Amazon. I'm going to paint it with Waverly chalk paint in the color ivory. Of course, you can use the ones from Dollar Tree, or Woodpecker Craft has them as well. I'm also going to use my Chalk Couture stencils called Foul Language. I've been wanting to use this for a while now, and I just thought this would be the perfect time. So since it's my first time using it, I'm going to fuzz it. If you're not familiar with Chalk Couture, these are self-adhesive silk screen transfers is what they call them. Basically a sticky stencil, and we fuzz it the first time so it doesn't pull up any paste or paint. So I got it laid where I wanted it, and I'm going to cover the wording with my tape because I didn't want to use it. I thought fluent and foul language was funny, but it's not something I wanted to use. So I'm going to use my Candy Apple Chalk Paste by Chalk Couture. I'm going to go over the comb and the front part of this rooster with it, and then I'm going to use a saffron to kind of go over some areas as well, and then you'll see me mix it together. Now I was trying to figure out, I've been having a really hard time for this video. I had 3 days this week of just my allergies were just really kicking in bad and I wasn't feeling well. So when it came down to doing these projects, I just wasn't sure. I wasn't motivated. And I went on and looked at some stuff that other Chalk Couture designers had created. And I saw a lady do this and I just loved this. And I've done something like this before and I thought, I haven't done that for a while, so let's do this. So here I'm just putting in my saffron and my candy apple in the different areas that I want it, and then I'm going to use my finger and just smear it all together, and then I'm going to do the rest of the rooster. I'm going to do some more colors. You'll see that here in a few minutes. But I am a Chalk Couture designer. If you have never seen Chalk Couture, or if you have and you think it looks fun or interesting and would like to try it out, I do have a link in my description box for Chalk Couture that you could check out. I usually recommend, if you want to try it, to sign up for the Club Couture. It's $21.99 a month, and when you sign up, you do have to enroll for at least 3 months, but it does give you an exclusive 8x11 transfer, plus some paste to go with it, and usually some kind of a surface to use with it. And I think it's a great way to just kind of get your feet wet, get it started, see if it's something that you want. There's also our members perk, which is $20 a month. You get I think a $20 credit every month for that, but also you get 30% off of anything you order. So check those out. Those are in the link that I have in my description box if you're interested at all. So as you can see, I did all my smearing there. Here I'm just going to use my saffron and camel to do the bottom part of this. And as you saw, I lifted up in between because I didn't want the paste to dry on my silk screen because then it would pull it up when I pulled up the transfer. So after it was dry, I had created this with my Cricut. And normally I do this part before I add it to my sign, but I wasn't thinking. So I'm just going to remove all those letters, and then I'm going to go over it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color crimson. And you guys, when I was doing this, I'm like, have I done this before? This seems familiar. And I looked on my Cricut design space, and sure enough, I had done a rooster with Rise and Shine and Give God the Glory before. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. But that's all I could think of when I saw this rooster was this saying. Apparently I put roosters in that saying together. But anyways, I took some of this ribbon. This I think I got from Walmart a couple of years ago at Christmas time. But if you want to recreate this, you guys could use any kind of rooster stencil or rub-on transfer. You could use wood letters or stickers if you don't have a Cricut. There are ways to recreate it. You don't have to do it exactly like mine, but you can always recreate it and put your own spin on it. But this ribbon, again, you could use any kind of ribbon that you have, but I'm just kind of doing some little pleats to kind of give it a ruffled look, and I'm just hot gluing it all along the edge of my sign, and then I'm going to trim off that long piece there and glue that last piece in place. I do end up tucking the end of that, gluing it inward and kind of gluing it together so it looks a little better. But I'm going to go over the edges with my favorite braided jute ribbon that I get from Amazon. It is in my Amazon store, and there's a link to that in my description box as well. Also, if you can't find my description box, or if you're on a TV and can't get access to my description box and have questions about chalk couture, you can always email me at rusticandlacediy@gmail.com, and I would be happy to answer any questions for you. Okay, so I'm going to make a bow, and I took some burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree and then some more of that ribbon that I used around my sign. Did the awareness ribbon, scrunch them up together, and then tie some string around it or some jute twine around it. I'm going to dovetail the ends by folding in half and cutting at an angle, and then I'm going to glue this right on the top corner here. Then I decided to go ahead and add some boxwood greenery, and I had some small pieces laying around, so I'm just going to glue them on behind my bow, and then I'm going to turn it around, and nope, I'm going to add a button. I forgot about the button right in the middle of my bow, and then I'm going to add some of that ribbon that I love as the hanger. I'm just going to glue it to the back. And I love, you guys, I love how this sign came out. I think it is adorable, even though I've done one like this before, but it's not exactly like this. So anyways, if I can find the link to that video, I'll put it in my description box if you want to check that out. Okay, so today is our Just Our Imagination Challenge. I host this on the second Monday of every month with my best friend Kathy Jo with Kathy Jo DIY. And we always have some must-use items that everybody has to use. And then we get together and we talk about who we thought did the best with their items and which ones we enjoyed the most. So last month we picked Zaina with OK at Home DIY. So she's our guest host this month. And she is also almost a neighbor. We live about 20-30 minutes apart. So we've been able to meet before, and I love her. She's great. And she made these pieces out of paper plate, extension cord, and styrofoam. And we loved how she made it look like a beadboard sign up there. It was so pretty. So make sure you check out her channel as well as Kathy Jo and the playlist. I'll have links to all of them in my description box below. So here's DIY number 2. I'm going to take one of those chunky wood planks from Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint it with Waverly chalk paint in the color Ivory. Once it was done, I'm just going to go over it with some Mod Podge. I'm going to brush it all on, and then I'm going to let it dry. And after it's all dried, I'm going to take this beautiful rice paper picture I got from decoupagenapkin.com. I'm covering it with my parchment paper, and I'm going over it with my heat press. The parchment paper protects the paper. The heat press reactivates the Mod Podge. And look at that. I just love this. It is so cute. And then I'm just going to go over it again with some more Mod Podge to put that protective layer on top. Then I took this. I think I got this from Temu before the end of the year. And I'm just going to brush on some Waverly Antique Wax all over it. And then I'm going to use a paper towel to wipe off the excess, which should be any second here. And there we go. I'm going to wipe that off. I did do the ends as well. Got to do the whole thing. But I just love the way this is such a unique little wood piece. I just love it. And then I took one of these finial caps. I think this came from Amazon, I think. I don't know anymore, guys. I don't even know. And I'm just going to do the same thing with the antique wax and brush it on and then wipe off the excess with a paper towel. Then I'm marking the center spot on the top and the bottom of my sign. I'm going to use my Tite Bond Quick and Thick Multi-Surface Glue. I'm going to glue that larger piece onto the bottom, and then I'm going to glue the finial cap right onto the top. And then I decided to go ahead and take some of this. I think I got this from Temu as well. I am going to glue this around. I just thought this gave it a really nice finishing touch, and it wasn't too wide to it. I was worried about anything else I had was too wide and was going to cover up some of the picture, and this was perfect. Then after I had that glued all the way around my sign, I am going to make just a little shoestring bow with some of that ribbon. Nothing real big. And I'm just going to cut the ends at an angle just because it's a little harder to dovetail these and the angle makes it look nice too. And then I'm just going to glue this onto where the picture and that base meets. And that's all there is for this one. Super simple. Again, you guys, I was having such a hard time getting energized and ready for this, but I hope you like this one. Okay, what'd you think of that first DIY? I hope you liked it. This video, you guys, we have some fun stuff to craft with. Not too challenging, I don't think, but yeah. So just stay tuned. You'll see what I created with it. But I always love this challenge because I love to see the unordinary crafting things that we take and what everybody does with it. And I just have to say, these girls are getting better and better, I think, because I just see their improvement every month, and it's just amazing to watch. Sorry, I was getting messages and I was trying to figure out what they were saying about Oliver. His food is in, right? Your food is here. Your food? He likes that word. Anyways, before we get on with the video, if you're new here, make sure you hit that red subscribe button before you go. Make sure you check out this playlist because it is fun and full of imagination, and I'd say even full of laughter, especially if you watch Kathy Jo. She always makes me laugh. So with all of that, you guys, let's continue on with the video. Okay, DIY number 3. So I'm going to take, these are the must-use items, actually. I've got 4 of the paper towel holders. I'm only going to use 1. I've got several cans here, and I'm only going to use 3. I had no idea exactly what I was going to do. And then hangers. These are wire hangers from Dollar Tree that actually have a plastic coating over them. I decided to take this sign from Hobby Lobby. I got it at Christmas time. It was 50% off. I'm going to remove the hanger from it. I'm just using my staple remover and that little pick there because sometimes those staples are really in the MDF and it's hard to get them out. Then I'm going to take my hazelnut chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm going to do a very heavy dry brushing all over the front of my sign. I just want it to have that rustic farmhouse look that I love so much. And then after I have that all done, and once it's dry, I'm going to take some wood biscuits. Now the bigger ones came from, it was either Lowe's or Home Depot. The smaller ones came from Woodpecker Crafts, which I am affiliate. I do have a link to them in my description box as well. If you're interested in buying anything through them, I would get a little bit of a credit if you use that link. But I'm going to paint them with my Waverly chalk paints in the color plaster, maize, and hazelnut. Once they were done, those half beads from Amazon. But I just did some distressing over those biscuits with some hazelnut. Then I laid them where I wanted them, or at least the white ones I did. I'm going to use my Titebond glue here. I'm just going to glue them all in place. We're going to make flowers. You've probably seen this before. I know this is not an original idea. I've seen these things many times before. But like I said, I was having a hard time getting inspired by anything. I just felt crappy most of this week. And so, yeah, I was just trying to do something. But I have been wanting to do something with these wood biscuits for a while. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. I love Farmhouse. I love these flowers. I'm just going to do it. So I'm going to glue those all in place. I took the smaller ones and I'm going to glue them on top of the larger petals, just like you see me doing right there. And I do this on both the white and the yellow until we have these cute little flowers. Now I was thinking I should have painted the middle yellow and did daisies but anyways, they can be any kind of flower, I guess. Sunflowers, daisies, whatever. Anyways, I took the hanger, I took it apart like that. I cut them down to the sizes that I wanted, and this is how I'm doing it with my wire cutters. And I just kind of pulled, there's kind of heavy metal or whatever you want to call it, wire, I don't know. And I'm just twisting it and moving it back and forth with my wire cutters. Then I'm going to take some twine. I'm going to put a little dab of hot glue and then hold that twine to it for a few seconds. Then I'm just going to start twisting, and I'm just going to cover both of those with some twine. And once I get it all covered, I'm going to finish it up with a little dab of hot glue again. And then that way
my wire hanger is covered. You know, I thought this one was going to be the easiest, and the wire hanger, honestly, I thought that was going to be the easiest item. It was the one that I was having the hardest time with. I wanted to do something a little more imaginative, but like I said, I had a hard week. So I just hot glued those in place. I'm going to take some leaves from some flowers and I'm going to glue them on so that it looks like these flowers have leaves. And then after that, I'm going to add some floral moss to the bottom, just using some hot glue to glue it all in place. And man, that stuff is so messy. I get it everywhere. Oh my goodness. You wouldn't want to see my floor in my craft room. It's just horrible. Anyways, I call it the abyss. If I drop something down there, I know I'm never going to find it in the abyss. Anyways, I have this folk art vintage tea rose, and I took this butterfly. This wood butterfly came from Hobby Lobby in their spring section, crafting section. I'm just going to paint that butterfly, and then after it was dry, I'm going to take some more of that hazelnut and I'm just going to go around and do a little distressing on it just to give it that rustic farmhouse look that I love so much. And then I took some half beads, some small ones. I did not paint them. I just gonna do some distressing with the hazelnut on them. And you guys made me so happy when most of you said you don't care if Farmhouse is going out of style, you still love it and still do some. It just made my heart so happy because down deep inside, this is what really makes me happy is the Farmhouse stuff. Then I'm going to use that Tite Bond again. I'm going to, as you saw, I glued those half beads on the front of the butterfly and then glued the butterfly onto my sign. Added a jute hanger to it, just tied some knots on the end. And this sign is thick enough that I can staple that on, and there it is. I think it's very cute, and it may not be original, but I do love this, and I hope you love it too. Let me know in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreations. And we have Corrine who made these sweet pieces. I love that bunny wreath. Oh, so cute, Corrine. Thank you so much. And then we have Kathy who made these adorable carrots. I love it. That is so, so cute. Thank you so much for sharing, Kathy. And then Mary, who has a business called Creative Creations by Mary, made this bunny centerpiece and then these wreaths. They are so pretty. Thank you, Mary. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, final DIY number 4. So I took this pool noodle. Have you guys ever used one of these knives from Dollar Tree? Oh my gosh, they cut those pool noodles like butter. I love them. Anyways, I cut that pool noodle down to the size I needed. I took the small wood round from Dollar Tree, traced it on some cardboard and cut it out. Then I'm using my paper towel holder and I'm just kind of marking the length of the top part of that. And then I'm going to use my box cutter to just cut a slit through my cardboard. And I was going all the way through, but it just wasn't getting very wide. So I took the end of my paper towel holder and just kind of moved it around inside of that to spread it out a little bit until it would go through. Then I took some fabric from Dollar Tree and I'm going to cut it out a little bit bigger than that cardboard round. And then I'm going to cut the edges. I'm going to snip it to the cardboard, to the end of the cardboard. Then I'm going to make a little slit on the middle of my fabric. And then I'm going to add some Mod Podge all around it, all around the cardboard, brush it all on, and then I'm going to lay my fabric down on top of that. I did not wait for it to dry. It was still wet. Then I realized, oops, it's inside out. Anyways, then I'm just going to smooth it all out, which is nice because it smooths out any wrinkles and just makes it all nice and perfect. And then after it's all smoothed out, I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to put some Mod Podge all around the edge. I kind of went crazy there. And I'm going to brush it all along the edge part. And then I'm going to fold in those fabric pieces on the edges and have them stick onto the Mod Podge, just like you see me doing right there. And once I had them all on, I just went over it again with some more Mod Podge just to cover it and to make those edges, because that fabric does fray very easily, and then it just kind of stops the fraying too. Then my granddaughter was in here. She wanted to help me, but I decided, I need some of the dishwasher safe Mod Podge on this, because this is going to be for our bathroom. I went in. This is what got me started. I originally was going to make a cross with this paper towel holder thing, but I couldn't. My brain just does not wanting to work. And I was in my bathroom, and I was so tired of seeing the kids' stuff all over. I thought, okay, I need to make a caddy. So this is what I'm making. So I covered that bottom piece with the dishwasher Mod Podge. I covered this pool noodle with some Mod Podge, but this was not working either with the material. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue and go all the way around and add some fabric to my pool noodle. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to glue the ends together and just kind of, anything that was a little long, just kind of tuck it into that little hole. And then I'm going to put this onto my paper towel holder. And you have to be careful doing this, because if you don't go straight, it will poke a hole through the side. So, because I almost did that. But anyways, once I have that on there, I took 3 cans, and I'm going to cover them with my dishwasher safe Mod Podge. I'm going to cover each can with some fabric. Now, I didn't have enough of the same fabrics for everything, so I did 3 like coordinating fabrics. And then I am going to just continue to add the Mod Podge and the fabric all the way around the can until it's completely covered. And again, I did 3 cans I end up using. One for my grandson, one for my granddaughter, and one for little Oliver, because his little toothbrush and toothpaste is always sitting on my counter, and I need to do something with it. I have it on my counter to help me remember to brush his teeth. So anyways, we had his teeth cleaned at the beginning of the year, and I told myself I was going to do better at keeping them clean. Yeah, so I'm trying my hardest. Then I went ahead and put some more Mod Podge all over the inside of that. And then I'm going to tuck the fabric down inside of my can. And once I have it all tucked in and flattened out, then I'm going to go over it with some more Mod Podge just to protect it. Again, it's the dishwasher safe Mod Podge, so hopefully it protects it from water. Because their toothbrushes are going to go in this. Anyways, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Oh, this is the bottom. I'm just going to cut slits again and do the same thing like it did on the other pieces, where it makes it easier to cover a round surface when you make the little slits like that. And then I'm just going to go over it again with Mod Podge so that it gives it a really good coating and it all lays flat, and you can definitely tell the difference. Then I decided, you know what? I do not like the way this fabric looks on that pool noodle. You could kind of see the hot glue streaks, and I just didn't like it. So I decided, okay, I want to do something a little more rustic and farmhouse. So I'm just going to cover it with some rope from Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to hot glue some rope all the way around that middle piece, and I'm going to go all the way up. Now, I originally, when I thought about doing this, I was going to do the cans up on that base, so they're up high, and then I have a spot on the bottom for our toothbrush chargers. But I just couldn't think of a way to attach them that wouldn't look funky, and I wanted them to be sturdy, so I ended up not doing that part. I'm going to put them on the base. But before I do that, as you can see, I glued some twine onto the bottom of the base. And then I have this, I don't know if this came from Amazon. I think this came from Amazon. It might have been Temu, but I'm pretty sure it was Amazon. These little natural color daisy ribbon. I just love them. I put it all around the top of each can and then the middle of this thing. And then I was trying to figure out what to do with the top of this paper towel holder. I was going to cover it with some wood and maybe a finial cap, and then decide to instead just stick some daisies down in it. You guys, I was not with it. Oh, anyways, I took my Fix-All glue and my hot glue. I'm going to glue my cans right onto that base, just like you see right there. And then again, the Fix-All glue is for permanent hold. The hot glue is for immediate hold. I do have a space open in the back where we can put our toothbrush chargers, but there it is, filled with all their stuff. And yeah, we'll see how long it lasts, but that's what I came up with. Anyways, okay, you guys, here's the final reveal. I hope you enjoyed today's video. That one is my favorite right there. But make sure you check out Kathy, Joe, and Zaina's channels and subscribe to them if you have not already. And then make sure you check out the playlist, and I'm sure you're going to get all kinds of fun entertainment with all these fun must-use items. So with all that, I will be back again on Thursday with another video. So I hope you have a blessed week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.